If that bullet was 2 inches to the right, then we would have a great American tragedy on our hands.
Right now, our nation is waking up, still searching for answers after an attempted assassination.
And now the former president is set to speak at the Republican National Convention as all eyes go towards Milwaukee.
This is the most dangerous time in the metropolitan area.
High heat and humidity will create life-threatening temperatures later on. I'll show you when the worst of the heat is expected to build.
Plus, triple-digit temperatures mean higher risk of getting sick. How you can stay cool and safe this morning.
As second and third. Hanging, breaking ball, whack toward left. Hap going back, won't get that.
Redbirds are resting during the All-Star break. How the team is preparing for the second half of the season. What do you mean?
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
I mentioned the fact that there's some new cicadas out. Michelle's like, what do you mean the new ones are out? As we come on the air this morning, it is already 80 degrees outside, and the temperatures are only going to climb as the day goes on. That is why we're in a weather impact alert day. I'm Rennie Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. Just thanks for joining us. It is Monday, of course, and you know what? Monday's already looking kind of rough on the road.
Yeah, serious accident in Eureka, 109 at 44. We'll talk about it in just a second.
Okay, and then of course, you know, Anthony, gosh, so much to say about the weather.
Yeah, another hot, humid day on the way. We'll be up near 100 this afternoon, so remember to hydrate and get into the AC. It's crucial when it's this hot. You definitely need to cool the body off. So let's head over and I'll show you what we have to work with this morning. So it's all about that heat and humidity. Heat advisory until about 8 o'clock this morning. Sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. There's a lot of places to walk in this studio. I don't always get it right. Now I'm in the right spot. All right. Hey, all right. Close up. I'm ready for my shot. Here we go. Heat advisory in place for today until 8 o'clock this evening. That's when it will expire. Let me show you the details on what you need to do. So on a day like today, dehydration sets in quicker. You need to watch for heat illness, like a simple old headache could be more than that. Fatigue, and try to stay cool in numbers like this. Yeah, we're headed near 100 this afternoon with bright skies and high humidity. It will make it feel like we're up near 110 at the highest this afternoon with that high humidity in place. We do have some relief on the way. That comes in the form of storms tonight and a couple more rounds on Wednesday. We'll walk you through that part of the forecast coming up. All right, Paul, he's in his right spot this morning. All right, what are we talking traffic? You say you got a serious issue, so, I don't want to be too, jovial.
I thought it was awesome watching you walk around, though. That was pretty cool. Yeah, we do have an accident here on 44 at 109. And if you remember up here, in case you forgot, when it's purple, that means we are closed in certain areas. And that is what we are dealing with right now. Fatal accident, 44 at 109. It was actually two vehicles that hit on 109 just south of 44. But you see the purple I mentioned, that means those ramps are closed on 44. You will see a delay here. This happened about a half hour ago. I wanted to kind of zoom out and show you where you could avoid it. And a big part of that is going to be Gravois. Depending on where your route is, 30 will be the way to go on that one. But again, 44 at 109 if you're just joining us. Fatal accident, and we'll have more info coming up, guys.
The time is 6:04, and in just hours from right now, Republicans will open their national convention in Milwaukee. It's happening just days after the attempted assassination on former President Donald Trump.
NBC's Jay Gray has the latest on the investigation from the site of the Pennsylvania rally.
Former President Trump traveling to Milwaukee for today's opening of the Republican National Convention. Just a day after the attempt on his life. Late Sunday, posting the message "Unite America" on social media as President Biden addresses a stunned nation from the Oval Office.
You know, the political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that.
Responsibility at the center of growing questions and frustration over how it could happen. A rooftop less than 150 yards from the rally stage left open and accessible. The alleged shooter, seen in this new video, able to fire at least 8 shots from the position before he's taken out by Secret Service snipers.
The buck does stop with the U.S. Secret Service. It's their plan. You're responsible, so you can't deflect blame on anybody else.
President Biden ordering an independent investigation into what many in law enforcement are calling a colossal breakdown and profound security failure.
If that bullet was 2 inches to the right, it would have penetrated the former president's forehead, and we would have a great American tragedy on our hands.
Federal agents searching for a motive say the man accused of pulling the trigger, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, is still a mystery, unknown to law enforcement before the attempted assassination. Jay Gray, NBC News, Butler, Pennsylvania.
This morning, a local mom and daughter who were at that rally are still processing what happened. They were just 8 rows behind the podium where former President Donald Trump was standing.
Mercedes McKay spoke with the women and joins us live now with their chilling firsthand account. I can only imagine how they're doing this morning, Mercedes.
Michelle, just terrifying for both of these women. This morning, Lynn Piwowarczyk and her daughter, Dee Piwowarczyk Gilmore, are still just trying to absorb everything. They traveled from Chesterfield in O'Fallon, Missouri to Pennsylvania, never imagining they'd witness this terrifying moment in history. The women got to the rally around 10 a.m. After going through Secret Service security and metal detectors, they got a spot in the bleachers, just 8 rows behind where the former president stood on stage. Dee says he was only speaking for about 10 minutes when the shots rang out. Lee says at first, some thought the noise was fireworks, but once they saw blood on some of the Secret Service, they knew the former president was shot. Now take a look at this video on your screen. Dee actually took this video of the Secret Service escorting Trump out of the rally. And in NBC and AP footage, Lynn is visible in the background. Her husband seeing it for himself on TV and asking why she wasn't ducking down. 5 on Your Side spoke to the woman just hours after the chaos unfolded.
Everybody kind of popped up to see what the heck was going on, and you could see them rushing Trump off the stage, and then the Secret Service started yelling at us, "Get down, get down, get down."
There were people laying where our feet go, and we were crowded in there. So I had the gentleman next to me laying on the ground. I had the lady next to me laying on the ground. I said there was nowhere for me to lay.
Just so terrifying for both of them. The mother and daughter are heading back to St. Louis today. Rennie, Michelle, as you guys mentioned early on in the 6 a.m. hour, this has really raised a lot of questions about security surrounding the former president. Mainly, how did they let this happen? Well, coming up in our next half hour, a local security expert will weigh in. Live in downtown St. Louis, Mercedes McKay, 5 on Your Side.
Thank you, Mercedes. This morning, medical experts say America is dealing with a trauma on a national scale. 5 on Your Side spoke with Dr. J.L. Punch, a local trauma surgeon. On the physical side, he says former President Trump's ear will look and hurt worse over the next few days as the body starts to heal. But his bigger concern is the emotional impact on our communities.
When you have trauma, it's not like having any other illness. It changes the way you eat, sleep, move, and think. And so you turn to toxins, whether it's toxic media, toxic substances, toxic people, to try to get some kind of relief. In that way, bullets spread, they radiate, they metastasize, and they can create harm far beyond their individual impact.
Dr. Punch says now is the time to check in on one another, especially if someone you know has experienced gun violence. Anyone in crisis can call the 988 hotline at any time for help. We'll hear from the former president for the first time since the shooting today at the RNC. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, will share live reports from Milwaukee every day on 5 on Your Side at 5, 6, and 10, online and on 5+.
As we're going to pray right now, we have a word that there's been a shooting in the other building.
Well, right now, police are looking for the person who shot at a security guard inside a North St. Louis County church building yesterday morning. You just heard the moment the pastor of Grace New Covenant Church alerted his congregation to that shooting. It happened in their outreach center just down Chambers Road in Bellefontaine Neighbors. So thankfully, no one was hurt, thanks to a very quick response from police and the church's pastor.
All I could do was remember my training for active shooters, because our church has been trained for that, to make sure everybody shut the doors off, get down in the back.
Police were on the scene within 1 minute. Officers have not arrested anybody, but says the security guard and shooter are extended relatives.
The heat is on all day long. How to stay cool and healthy no matter where you go today. And if you're
you're headed outside in the backyard today, it is going to be steamy up near 100 degrees. In fact, already by 10 a.m. we'll be near 90, and heat index values will be approaching 110 this afternoon. There is some relief on the way, though. We'll talk about that after the break.